Ja'Kobe Tharp walked into Hayward Field with pressure already around him. He was the defending NCAA champion. He was one of the biggest names in college hurdles. He had already proven he could win when the lights were bright. But nobody expected a world record in a semifinal. The 110-meter hurdles is one of the hardest races in track. It is not just a sprint. It is a fight through 10 barriers. The race is too short for mistakes, but too technical to be pure speed. A hurdler has to attack, stay balanced, keep rhythm, and clear every hurdle without losing force. That is what made Tharp's race so shocking. He did not wait for the final. He did not wait for the perfect title moment. He ran 12.75 seconds in the heat and destroyed the world record. The old mark was 12.80, set by Aries Merritt in 2012. It had stood for 14 years. Many great hurdlers had chased it. None had passed it. Then Tharp took 500ths off it in one race. That is not a normal drop in the hurdles. That is a historic break. Aries Merritt's 2012 masterpiece was not just another fast time. It was one of the cleanest hurdle races ever seen. As the Olympic champion, his mark in Brussels became the standard every hurdler had to measure against. For years, the record sat above the event like a locked door. Hurdlers could get close. They could run 12.9. They could look smooth and fast. But crossing into 12.7 was different. That space belonged to history. The reason is simple. The 110-meter hurdles leaves almost no room for error. In a flat 100 meters, a sprinter can sometimes recover from a small mistake. In the hurdles, every mistake has a price. A slight touch on a barrier can ruin speed. A bad takeoff can break rhythm. One late landing can make the next hurdle harder. Merritt's record survived because it required everything to line up: speed, technique, timing, wind, nerve, and health. Tharp did not sneak past a soft mark. He beat one of the strongest records in sprint hurdles history. This record was shocking, but Tharp did not come from nowhere. He had already built a serious resume before Hayward Field. He won the World Under-20 title in the 110-meter hurdles. That showed he could handle international pressure before he became a full senior star. He also became an NCAA champion, which proved he could win inside the American college system, where sprint hurdles are deep and unforgiving. Then he moved into the senior world conversation. He reached the 110-meter hurdles final at the 2025 World Championships and finished 6th. That mattered because it put him beside grown professionals, not only college rivals. By 2026, he had also become a major indoor force. His 60-meter hurdle speed showed that his first half was dangerous. Indoor hurdling is tight, fast, and brutal. The barriers come quickly. There is no time to settle. That kind of speed can transfer into the outdoor race when the rhythm is right. While the world record time was jarring, Tharp himself was not a mystery. He had been building towards something big. The surprise was not that he was great. The surprise was how fast greatness arrived. The start mattered. In the 110-meter hurdles, the first hurdle can decide the whole race. A hurdler needs power out of the blocks, but he also needs control. Too much rush can make the takeoff messy. Too much caution can lose the race early. Tharp got into his rhythm quickly. That was the key. Once a hurdler finds rhythm, the barriers stop looking like separate problems. They become one continuous pattern. Step, attack, clear, land, drive. Again and again. Through the middle of the race, Tharp looked locked in. He was not floating over the hurdles. He was attacking them. The race kept pulling forward, and the clock was already moving into dangerous territory. The final part was not perfect. Tharp later said the last few hurdles felt a little uncertain. That detail makes the record even more frightening. This was not a race where every piece looked untouched and polished. There were moments that still felt human, but the speed was already too strong. He kept enough rhythm. He kept enough power. He crossed the line, looked at the clock, and the sport had to adjust. A world record had fallen in a heat. Breaking a world record in a final is already rare. Breaking it in the heats makes the story feel almost unreal. A semifinal is supposed to be about survival and qualification. The goal is usually simple: get through clean, do not hit hurdles, do not waste too much energy, save the biggest race for the final. Tharp did the opposite without meaning to turn it into a world record chase. He ran fast enough to advance, But the race became something much bigger. That is what makes the moment dangerous for the rest of the field. If a hurdler can run the fastest time ever before the final, what does that say about his ceiling? It means the event has a new problem. Rivals cannot wait for Tharp to make mistakes. They cannot assume he needs a perfect final to be dangerous. He just proved he can make history while still moving through rounds. It also changes the pressure on him. A world record before the title race creates a strange burden. The final becomes less about proving speed and more about proving control. The whole stadium now knows what the clock can say. That is a different kind of pressure. College athletes arrive with team points on the line, school pride on the line, and pro futures being watched in real time. Hayward Field adds even more weight. It is one of the sport's most famous tracks in the United States. Records there carry a certain sound. Big performances at Hayward travel fast because the track world is always watching. Tharp's record also gave college track a rare kind of global headline. NCAA athletes run fast every year, but a world record is different. It pulls the college meet into the center of the sport. It tells the whole world that a college athlete just reset the top mark in a senior global event. That matters for Auburn, too. Tharp is not only running for himself, he is scoring for a program. He is raising the profile of his team. A world record in Auburn colors turns one athlete's race into a school-wide moment, but the real meaning goes beyond college. The senior hurdle world just got put on notice. A world record is the biggest single mark in the event, but it does not finish Tharp's story. After his historic heat, the NCAA final became a very different race. Before the semifinal, Tharp was the defending champion trying to advance. After it, he was the fastest man ever trying to stay calm. That is a hard switch. The body has to recover, the mind has to reset, the adrenaline has to come down. A hurdler cannot race the record again just because the crowd wants it. He has to race the 10 barriers in front of him. That is where champions show real control. Can Tharp keep the same clean attack without chasing the clock? Can he protect the title after the whole sport just watched him break the world? Tharp has already given track one of its biggest shocks in years. Running 12.75 once makes him historic, backing it up in the finals, and turning that speed into a full senior championship career would make him terrifying. Ja'Kobe Tharp entered Hayward Field as a champion. He left as the man who conquered track's most untouchable mark. That one race changed his name forever. It changed Auburn's meet. It changed the NCAA Championships. It changed the 110-meter hurdles record book. At 20 years old, he delivered enough shock that even the sport had to pause. Now the hardest part begins. The record belongs to Ja'Kobe Tharp, but from this point forward, every hurdler in the world is running at his shadow.